So we are going to start with the concept of company, then we will move to share market, because these two things, they are needed to have a better understanding of world economy. Otherwise, you won't be able to understand. So coming to now the concept of company. In brief, we have discussed the concept of company in India. It was introduced way back in. Can you guess the weight of this book? How many kilograms? Anyone who is expert? More than 1 kilogram. Yeah, definitely. 2 point? More than 2 kilogram. I don't know. So more than 1 kilogram. I am confirmed. Maybe touching 2 kilogram. So coming to now. So concept of company, it was introduced in India way back in 1956. Okay, companies basically, they are doing business to earn profit. But the way company performs is a totally different from rest of the business, because in case of company, there is a complete separation between ownership and the management. Whosoever, they are the owners of the company, who they are shareholders, so they cannot be the managers. And those people who are running the business, team of management led by whom? Board of directors, so they are not the owners. They are simply working the capacity of employee, and for that they are being paid salary wages, commission, you can say, just like employees are paid. Okay, so companies, they get money from where? Companies, so they get money from where? From the public. When the companies issue shares, and by purchasing shares, it's the people of the country, so they give their capital to whom? Company. And company will be using the capital belonging to the people of India, the shareholder, in their interest to earn profit. And if company has some profit, so definitely profit, a part of the profit will be distributed among shareholder. So when you buy shares of some company, you become the owner according to the percentage holding. Okay, so not only you become the owner, you are investor as well. You have invested your money. And investors, they always need some return. But when you buy share, since you become owner, your return can never be fixed and compulsory. It is always going to be conditional. Condition is subject to profit. Owner's return can never be compulsory. It is always conditional, subject to profit. Even though you are doing some business, a small business, under proprietorship, so there also, can your return be guaranteed? No, your return is conditional. Condition is profit. Yeah, the same rule applies in case of company. So if shareholder, they are the owner, they have purchased share, they are investor as well. So their return cannot be fixed and compulsory. It is conditional, that is called subject to profit. If there is no profit, no dividend, less profit, less dividend, more profit, more dividend. Okay. One rule is known to everyone. That profit and loss both belongs to the owner. Yes or no? Profit belongs to owner, loss belongs to owner. So profit and loss both belongs to the owner. But in case of company, the best thing is that being the owner, you will have share in profit, no doubt, but you don't have to contribute toward the losses. In losses, you don't have to share, because in case of companies, their liability is limited. Liability is limited up to the face value of shares held. What is the face value of shares held? The face value that is written on the face. Take the case of 100 rupees notes. What is written there? 100. So that is the face value of the currency. Okay, suppose you have purchased 100 shares of a company and the face value of one share is 10 rupee. So what is the value of share? You have purchased 100 shares in number and the face value of one share is rupee 10. So what is your total contribution? 1000. Okay, so when you buy, at the time of purchasing those shares, you need to pay 1000. So you paid 1000 rupees. So this is going to be your maximum liability to pay. Not more than that. So your liability is limited up to the face value of shares held. You cannot be called by the company to pay even though company they are in losses. This is the best thing about the company, and that's why you can see companies, there are many companies who are called limited companies. In the market you can see XYZ Private Ltd. Limited company. Limited company means कि here your liability is limited. Up to when? Up to what? Up to the face value of share sale. Okay. Even though company may be suffering a loss of crores of rupees. Why liability of the shareholder? They are limited in limited companies to increase participation, so that more and more people they can participate, because it is giving you some sort of assurance. Yes, if the company will have profit, you will have dividend. There is no upper limit, but in case of losses, you don't have to contribute because your liability is limited. So these companies, they are called limited companies. Yes, one more company there where liability is not limited. It means suppose your ownership is 10%, then in profit also your share will be 10%, in losses also you will have to contribute 10%. So better to buy shares of limited company. Is that clear now? So unlimited companies, they are not from India. Reason being, they fail to sell their shares. People don't prefer to buy shares of unlimited company. People prefer to buy the shares of limited company. Is that clear now? So by issue of shares, companies are getting money from the public. So let us see now, firstly, types of shares. Types of shares. Types of shares. Shares are basically, they are of two types. First is called equity share. They are also known to be ordinary share. Ordinary share. And the second is called preference share. Second is called preference share. So shares, they are of two types. First is called equity share. They are also known to be ordinary share, and the second is called preference share. Okay. What is the basic difference between these two? So as the name suggests, second one, preference. So preference shareholders, they are given preference over the shareholders. Means firstly they are paid, and then who will be paid? Equity. So in two cases, preference shareholders, they are paid first. They are given preference over whom? Equity shareholder. First, in case of dividend. In case of dividend, dividend is that part of profit which are distributed among the shareholder. But remember, dividend cannot be compulsory, whether it's a preference share or equity share. If the company has not earned profit, there will be no dividend, whether it's a preference share or equity share. But if company has earned profit, the first dividend will go to preference. The company law say it is the legal duty of the board of directors to pay dividend first to whom? Preference share, and after giving dividend to them, if the profit is left, then equity shareholders, they will pay dividend. Okay? If the board of directors, who are responsible for all this, if they have distributed dividend among the shareholder without giving dividend to whom? Equity, preference share, so then it will be totally illegal. I said, if the board of directors, so they have distributed or provided dividend to equity shareholder without paying dividend to preference, it will be totally illegal and they will be punished for that. Is that clear now? So first preference should go to preference shareholder, then and then equity. Is that clear now? But remember, even though preference shareholders, they are given preference first, but doesn't mean that their dividend is compulsory. No, it is always conditional. I repeat the sentence again. If there is no profit, no dividend. But once you have the profit, then first dividend will go to preference. Okay? Now my question from you, being the common people of India, you will prefer to buy preference share or equity share? You will prefer to buy preference share, equity share. See, I am not discussing company law. Company law is a very big. It has got more than 658 sections. I am discussing only those areas which have got practical application in economy, particularly world economy. Particularly world economy. Okay, so you will prefer to buy preference or equity? Yes. You will prefer to buy preference. Okay, I was correct. In money matters, all are very smart. All are intelligent. Okay, but your answer is going to change many times. Preference shareholders, they are given dividend first, but normally their rate of dividend is fixed. Rate of dividend is fixed. So when you see the newspaper magazine, always left to preference share, you will find one mathematical rate, for example, 12% preference share. This 12% is what? Rate of dividend. Okay, so this 12% dividend, this your return, rate of return. So return is always calculated on investment. What is the face value of the preference share? So company, they issue shares whose face value has to be in multiple of 10. Multiple of 10. Initially 10 rupees share, nowadays 100 rupees, 1000 rupees. If the preference share's face value is rupees 10, it means for every one share, your investment is of rupees 10. If the face value of one share is rupees 10, it means what? For every one share, your investment is 10 rupee and return is 12%. So for every one share, you will get 1 rupee 20 paise. Simple mathematics. If the face value of one preference share is 100, then for every one share, you will get 12 rupees. Well, not 120. 12% of 100 is 12. So you will get 12 rupees. And if the face value of the preference share is 1000, then for every one share, your investment is 1000. So return is 12%. For every one share, you will get 120 rupees. Simple mathematics. Okay. So preference shareholder, whenever you can see the newspaper, left to preference share, you will get some rate, 12%. So preference share holders, they will get dividend, but at this fixed rate, 12%, not more than that. And after providing dividend to the preference shareholder at the rate of 12%, then comes turn of equity shareholder. And equity shareholders' rate of dividend can never be fixed. It can be nothing, it can be anything. It can be 5%, it can be 50%, it can be 500%, it can be 5000%, depending on the residual profit. I hope you got the point. Now what is your choice? You will go for preference or equity. You will get first preference. You will get dividend first, but the rate is fixed, 12%. What about equity shareholders? It can be anything. I said maybe nothing, maybe 5%, maybe 50%, maybe 5000%. So now my question from you, you will prefer to buy preference or equity? Yes. Now you are double-minded. Greedy people, they will prefer equity. Hey, those people who think, okay, firstly we should get, so they will go for preference. Is that clear now? It is basically your decision. You will go for preference or equity. Okay, now comes to second preference. Preference shareholders, they are getting second preference over equity shareholder in case of liquidation of the company. When company is liquidated, company band ho jaye. Now it's a basic rule, not only company, in case of every business. Whenever business is closed, so what happens? Assets of the business, they are sold. And firstly, who we will pay? Outsider or the owner? Suppose you are running your business and business suffered losses, business was closed. So whatever is left in the business, they will be sold. And firstly, whose dues are going to be settled? Outsiders or the owner? Outsiders. And after settling all the dues belonging to outsider, the rest of the money, whatever they are left, they will go to the owner. The same rule applies in case of company. When company goes into liquidation, then what happens? Assets of the company, they are being sold. And firstly, outsider, they are called creditors. For example, banks who have given loan, they are outsider. Creditors who have supplied goods on credit, udar. So firstly, outsiders will be paid. This is what is going on in case of Kingfisher. Kingfisher went into liquidation. So now by the order of the court, all the assets of the Kingfisher, they are being sold, and who are paid first? Outsiders. Gradually they are being settled. And after settling the dues of the outsider, in the end, these two owners are left. Who? Preference equity. So here also, preference shareholders, they will be given preference over equity. Firstly, preference shareholders will be paid. All their dues will be settled. And in the end, who will pay? Equity. Is that clear now? So preference shareholders, So they get preference over equity shareholders in two cases. Can you remember? First is in case of dividend, and second in case of liquidity. Is that clear now?